Okay friends, today I'm going to discuss about polar tracking and projections. Okay, so we're going to discuss of it here. So what is the meaning of polar tracking here? So let's see here friends. For example, I'm taking the line command here. Okay, when I'm taking the line command is shown to you. For example, let's say now, so here we can see we are moving the cursor towards like this. Automatically they're showing the angle, that is 31, they're showing it to you. And we can say now, so if you are going for 90 degrees, or if you are going for any other degrees now, so we are not seen it, right? So where is 90 degrees, where is 0 degrees, where is 180 degrees, where is 270 degrees, that we can't see here. But here we are going for here. For example, this is called as a polar tracking here. When you on this polar tracking, then we can see the green line over there. It means the green line is showing it as is called it is a polar tracking. It means it's tracked the 0 degrees and as well as tracking the 90 degrees and 180 degrees, and it's tracking it to 270 degrees also. But here one thing that we observe friends, the increment angle is set with the 90 degrees. So that's the reason every 90 degrees they're going to this snap. But here we can see it, if I wants to be snap with the 45 degrees or if I wants to be snap with the 75 degrees, then how we do that? So we have the polar tracking here. So we just will right click on it and we can go by the settings. So when you click on the setting, we have the increment angle here. So in this increment angle, we can mention that what the angle we need that. For example, if I given 45 degrees, click OK. So when we are given the 45 degrees, it means it will going to the snap with the 0 and as well as they're going to the snap with the 45 degrees. See, observe, that is a 45 degrees. And we have 90, 135 and 180. So it takes that each 45 degrees they're going to the snap here. Why? Because of the polar tracking is already on here. So that's the reason we are seeing it here. But here we can see, friend, if I wants to be snap with the 75 degrees, but my increment angle is already is 45 degrees and I need to maintain that only. So I can say now, so right click on this settings and we are going for a new option here. So take a new and I give it that 75 and take a new and I give it as 65. Take a new, I give it as 150. Yeah, click OK. Now what happens, you can see now 0, 45, yeah, and here is 65 and 75, and see the additional angles also we are going to be tracked now. So why it's tracking means because of the reason is the polar tracking is already on. So that's the reason that's the reason we have seen it, these all those things to you. Okay friends, now this is exact meaning of polar tracking. Now you can see, friend, this is a polar tracking option here. So if you wants to be on the polar tracking, we are going for F10. But if ortho, this is ortho. So if your ortho mode is on here, so then polar tracking is automatically gets off. Why? Because means ortho is allowing that to make only the straight lines. It doesn't allow you to make the cross line. But coming to the polar tracking here, the polar tracking is allowing you to make the cross lines and as well as straight lines also. So that's the reason if it is in the polar tracking is an on condition, automatically ortho will off. Ortho is an on condition, then polar tracking is really getting off. Okay, that we need to remember. So if you wants to be on the polar tracking, we are using F10, or if you wants to be off it also, we can use same key, that is F10 key. Okay, so right. So here that is what that is what the polar tracking. Now I'm explaining the next things to you. That is called projections. What is the exact meaning of the projection, friend? So what is the sense of the projections here, friend? See, friend, for example, if you wants to draw something into the AutoCAD, now first we need to see that drawing, right? Then after we are going to be doing the drawing. But here what is my main thing is, we are seeing that drawing, then only we are seeing, then only we are drawn it. It means the eyes are projecting something in front of you, then only we are able to draw something onto the AutoCAD. At the same way, in an engineering side also, we have the drawing, but the drawing is also we can draw by using of the some projection styles. Okay, so here we can see now the projections. So here projections are divided into the four types, friends. So what are their means? Inclined projection, and parallel projection, and perspective, perspective, and we have orthogonal projection. Okay, this all is the projections here, friends, but here in AutoCAD we are not choosing inclined projection, we are using only these three type of projections and we are using onto the AutoCAD. Okay, so let's see here. So what is this things here? See, from the parallel and perspective projections we are using onto the 3D. So that's when I'm coming to the 3D class now, I definitely discuss with you what is the meaning of perspective and parallel projections. But when you come into the 2D now, in the 2D we have orthogonal projection. So in orthogonal projection they divided into the three things, friends, and the first one is called first angle projection, and we call it as second angle, and we call it as third angle. Here in this AutoCAD we are not choosing second angle projection, we are using only the first angle and the third angle. Now need to observe, friends, what is the meaning of first angle projection here. See, friend, in the first angle projection means we are not seeing that object, we are not seeing that the object directly, we are not seeing the object directly, but we see that object on inside of mirror. We are not seeing the object directly, friends, we see the object inside of mirror. It means if you see object front view but draw into the back view. Why? Because of the mirror is acts like that, and the first angle projection is also view like that only. So it means if you are seeing the object in the front view but we are not drawn into the front view, we are drawn into the back view. That is somewhat is difficult to do that drawing in the first angle projection. So most of the cases they are not choosing first angle, but some cases they are using like bridge plans. As a bridge plans now, so they are using the first angle projection. But here now third angle projection. So here the third angle projection means is nothing but we see the object directly, friend. So we are not seeing the object inside of mirror. It means when you see the object in the front view, we are going to be draw onto the front view only. Okay, we are going to be draw only the front view only. So it means that's very easy to draw, friend. Why? Because if you go for the engineering engineer also, the engineers will do that all those drawings by third angle projection. In my experience now, I'm doing the so many construction works now, so that all those engineers are giving the plan in the third angle only. They are not giving the plan in the first angle, because of the engineers also facing so many problems while they're doing the first angle, while they do the drawing on the first angle projection. That's somewhat difficult. But coming to the third angle projection now, so that's very easy to do. Why? Because means what we see and that we going to draw onto the paper. So that is the exact meaning of the projections. Okay, so okay, friends, that's all for the projections. And we are going for, see, already I left that what, friends, is a perspective and a parallel. That perspective and parallel projections we are going to discuss on to the next sections. Like I'm coming to the 3D section now, so at that time now, so definitely I discuss with you. Okay, now by the next section of the class is what, friends, is the basic commands. No. I'm explaining user interface. Okay, user interface about AutoCAD. Okay, that I'm going to discuss. Okay, okay, friends. That I'm going to discuss on the next section to you.